Alrighty.
What's up, man?
Good. How's it going?
Long time, bro.
Yeah.
Great to have you guys back. I'm going to get straight into it. Last episode, I asked Daniel quite a question at the end of the episode. If you guys haven't seen it, please go back to episode 2. Last question I have for you, Daniel, was the Christopher Ward watch a teaser?
Amen. Amen, wrap it up.
And on that note. He has to drink water for this.
Damn. I'm listening.
The question I asked was, is the Christopher Ward watch a teaser? Yes or no?
I think we have to start from the beginning.
Yeah, I was about to be like,
Beginning.
Yeah.
how
Please
we
go into that.
how we got there in the first place. So we had Vanessa and Nico. That was great.
Yeah.
Great moment. We're happy. And then we're on a high, and then we're like, we need to,
Keep it up, yeah.
we need to. This is the fact that we can do it once, we can do it again and again and again. So on a high. And then we did a video, basically talking about.
The Belcanto, I think. Or
No. We did a video talking about Patek Philippe and the Cubitus and all of that.
yeah.
And then in that video, I briefly mentioned, like, you know what? Even like a Christopher Ward, right? Christopher Ward's like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it was like your watch of the week.
It was my watch of the week on
Yeah.
the episode. The Belcanto was
Yes,
the watch of the week. The new Belcanto,
Yeah.
with the chime.
The chimes in the D note.
In the D note, which is symbolic to a particular sort of bell in Switzerland, actually. It's a beautiful situation there. Spoke about that, made the clip, posted the clip on stories. As we posted that clip, we DM'd them on Instagram.
We tagged them on the clip.
And we tagged them on the clip and DM'd them on Instagram. I don't even think 2 hours passed. Immediate response.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Very quick.
This was like, I'm talking like 2 weeks after we finished filming Vanessa and Nico, our mini series on Vanessa and Nico. Our first series. Stay tuned. I shouldn't have said that. Damn.
That's another teaser.
That's
but
a
okay.
teaser. But yeah, we DM'd them and
They actually, like, the way they responded was, like, they said, okay, we're only the social team, but we will elevate your
they literally said
your message to the marketing. So we just thought, like, maybe it'll get there, but like maybe it'll get lost in translation. They won't reach back out to us. And the day after,
the next day we receive an email from, I won't say his name,
yeah,
but the head of marketing.
big guys.
Big guys. And he replied like, hey, got your message from the social team.
Saw your page.
Saw your page. You guys are dope. So how about we send you this watch? And that was it.
That's
365.
the second watch coming.
That was it, yeah. They were like...
we're going to start you off on this one.
Literally, they're like, we have this right now, we have it with us. It's the one that we tend to share with other content creators if they ask for it. C65 June GMT, this very watch, yeah. And then...
So crazy.
And then like a week later, it landed, yeah. That was it. Literally, yeah.
That was it. Like, there's no spice we're adding into it. Like, I think one thing I realized is when you... I actually didn't quite realize it, but a lot of people, especially overseas, they work very, very quickly.
Yeah.
They work super quick.
There's no like follow-up meeting. They're like, we're having a meeting now. Let's decide what happens now.
And let's do it now.
Let's
not have future meetings. Let's have future talks. No, it's like,
let's do it now.
if you have an idea, let's execute it now.
Yeah, let's do it now because we can. And they're like, we have it now, so do you want it now? And we're like, of course we want it now. And they're like, cool, we'll send it to you.
Man, I was excited, bro.
And it was like,
remember when I called you?
he literally, because I didn't get the email.
I was like, no!
He just told me, he's like, check your email right now.
Yeah.
I said, what happened? He said, check your email right now. And then he didn't drop the call, he waited like a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then he's like, did you check your email? I'm like, yeah, it's up, it's loading.
Yeah.
And then I saw the dial X Christopher Ward. I said, nah. I said, is this? And he's like,
It's
yeah.
like,
He's
yeah.
like, yeah. I said, oh my days. I read the email and this gentleman was so, literally he was like, hey, listen, you guys are dope, awesome. We'd love to send you a watch. This is the watch we can send you right now.
That's the watch you have on.
Yeah.
This is what I have on right now. They're like, we can send you right now.
Yeah.
Do you want it now or not?
Yeah.
And we're like, obviously. And we're like, cool. Sent us the details.
Yeah.
We sent them our details, etc. And then another gentleman contacted us.
Yeah.
Just I was asked to contact you guys, just to make sure things are good. Once they did the things with us, and we got all the deets, and then
We got the watch.
a week later, it landed in a very nice box.
Beautiful box. Actually.
Beautiful box, and we obviously have done a video on it, unboxing the Christopher Ward.
Link in the description.
Yeah.
Link in the description, all that jazz. Or
But,
just subscribe, man, it's there.
Yeah.
Like, it's
And
there,
also
it's
his
there for the world to see.
review is also coming out.
Yeah, mine's coming out soon. I've had I have a lot to say about this watch. I've had fun with this baby.
Yeah.
It's a shame to see it go.
Yeah.
But
It's time to let it go back.
Time to let it go back. But it's been amazing. And yes, it was quite literally that easy.
Christopher Ward, if you're watching this, let him have it.
Yeah!
Just let him have
I will
it.
scream. If homeboy's like, oh, by the way, you don't need to send the watch back, it's fine. Oh! I'm telling you.
I told them
I'm
give me
telling
the
you, none of you are
Belcanto.
wearing this watch.
I
I'm
want
telling you now.
Belcanto then.
Or a Belcanto.
Yeah.
If we get the new Belcanto, that would be amazing.
Yeah. I'd love to.
That would
review
be
that,
amazing because that Belcanto is actually, for those of you who don't know, this is just a little thing. Christopher Ward is the only British watch brand to ever win a GPHG award for their first Belcanto. They're the only British watchmaker that's ever won that award for it. So they're a big deal.
Shout out to Mike
and
Barnes.
there's still a micro brand, which is crazy to me.
Crazy.
And they sponsor Everton actually as well.
Bro!
Their main sponsors.
It's not a joke,
You
bro.
can see that on their thing.
They're a big deal, but they're still, I guess, how when we came across them, they were perceived as a micro brand. We're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You're the only company that's ever won the biggest award that can be won.
Because
Yeah.
they're already involved with quite like some big establishments already.
Yeah.
So for you guys to be involved with them at this point,
Ooh.
Man, and
I
their
can
watch
see where
is
the excitement came from.
Beautiful.
It was definitely a moment. And also you did a video on GMTs. So this is the first GMT we received. So like there were so many things running through our minds, like, wow, we actually
In terms of filming.
we're like, okay, we actually did this before, so how do we introduce it? Like, why are things just connecting?
So Daniel, earlier you said it was that simple, getting in contact with a brand of this stature. A lot of people might wonder what is it about you guys that you think is attracting brands like this, especially within your first year of existing as an African podcast.
Not even a year.
Less than.
In an industry, less than a year. In an industry that's predominantly European, what do you guys think it is that's attracting them to you guys?
Fresh faces, I think, also.
Yeah, it's definitely people are just. It's literally the first time they're seeing this before. So I think a lot of people are just like, oh, this is interesting. And then when they hear terms that they are used to hearing from other content creators, they're like, oh, where are you guys getting this from? I mean, yeah, I look good also. But I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
You were very serious.
I'm very serious.
You were super serious about that, yeah.
But no, I think it's also like, and I mean, I don't want to sound like that guy, but from what we've seen so far, we're like one of the very, very few black faces in the watch industry on the internet, like genuinely. And watchmaking is very much seen as a European thing altogether.
It's very gate-kept.
Very
almost,
gate-kept.
like,
If it's not Swiss, then you have to be. And it's also which is I guess it's just the result of what the industry is, but it's also the image of it. Like, oh, you have to be this certain type of person, you have to look a certain way, talk a certain way, have a certain type of personality to even like watches to begin with. when you can just be a normal guy that just likes watches, like you can
Just
like
watches,
anything,
yeah.
you know?
Say what he feels as well.
Yeah.
Because one thing I would say, right, it's actually 2 points I'd want to add is, one is we're trying to be a channel that doesn't stick to like a narrative, because like, of course, you know, the watch community is big, right? And we can all agree on something at some point, but we don't want to, we want to be, I don't want to say we want to be contrarian, but we don't want to always say, okay, if Nico Len is saying this, we're going to have to agree with him. You know what I mean? And then one thing I would say that I think also stood out, and why, you know, shout out to Christopher and Venenzi Nico to reaching out to us, is the quality of our content.
Yeah, big
honestly, like, it's a really stiff competition out there, because even if you just type in on Google watch reviews, you see so many. So we kind of look at that and see how we can try and make it better. But our quality is something that we do not compromise on. I think that's one thing I would say stands out to these watch brands. But I mean, you have to ask them to see what stood out.
True.
But most of them say like, we just love your content and it's quality. So yeah, it's quality is something that we take serious. Something that you, our director, take serious. And we have to thank you for that, because honestly, without the quality and actually like, because remember when the watch brands, when we send them our channel, they look at our videos. Like, I don't know which videos they look at, but one thing that we kept consistent was the quality. So sometimes we ask them like, which video did you look at? They'll be like, oh, looked at 1 and 2, but like the quality is the same. So they are like, no, we trust them with our watch.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, watches are pieces of like almost like tech, because they need to be presented nicely. Now, if you get like a very poor camera and you're reviewing it and it's maybe like it's a little bit dirty, and you know, it doesn't reflect the brand well. So I think our brand or our quality is more on par with what watch brands are willing to.
And they want to be seen as also. We match a lot of their sort of goals, visually speaking, but also I've also found that they also really like our perspective also. I mean, I won't say any names, but recently, even one brand commented like, hey, you know, like it's really nice just to see something different. Because it's also, and I don't think it's any fault to any content creator, obviously, but it's more like, yeah, man, you know, when there's a formula, there's a formula. And then we come along and we're basically making our own ingredients as we go along, which helps in the sense that, and on top of that, the way we're doing it has the quality already. So there's no preconceived, maybe like concern, you know, like, oh, you know, we're not really aware of the South African, you know, YouTube space or content creator space. They don't even care. They don't even know that we're South African most of the time. In fact, specifically,
they don't even ask. Maybe
they don't ask. In fact, when we approach them, we tell them we are
South African.
We are South African based. We are this. We are that. We are this. We are that. And then they're like, okay, cool. Do you want to watch or not?
Yeah.
It's like they're just like, oh, nice. Do you want to watch or not? You know what I mean?
So yeah.
And then what if, you know, there's a lot of people, I go through the comments quite a lot throughout the social medias and YouTube, of course, just to get feedback. And a lot of the time I see people excited about the fact that, I'm on Watch Talk. That's something that they'll call it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Or I finally found my platform.
Yeah.
Which speaks, do you understand? Which speaks to the fact that there aren't many platforms like this that exist. And not to say that there aren't many watch channels, because there are many of those. So if we could just remove the quality aspect of it, what else do you think people would need to do to be able to tap into the space to do what you guys are doing, and maybe even step it up a notch?
That's a good question. Personality, I think I would say. You need to bring personality into this.
Be yourself.
No.
There's no worse piece of content than forced Now, you'll be surprised how someone who's watching your video can be like, my man, why are you talking like this? Why you, like, you can, the body language matters a lot as well. You know, when you're relaxed and when you're comfortable. And also, don't be afraid, which is something that we were afraid of. Don't be afraid to not know something. Right? A lot of people have.
Don't be afraid to be educated.
Yeah, don't be afraid for someone to be like, oh, by the way,
you guys were kind of wrong on that.
You're kind of wrong on that. Okay, cool. So
how were we wrong?
Yeah, and then we engage
and
talk
about
then
it.
we get educated. We get taught like, oh, actually, this is the little piece that you missed, which then would have helped you with this and this and that.
And then we corrected.
And then we're like, cool. And then we're like, oh, thank you so much. You know, we'll want to do better. Cool. Because also, and it's easier said than done, right? Maybe because maybe also our personality, we don't really care for how people feel almost. Like we're like, hey, this is what we want to do and we're gonna do it the way we want to do it. But it's very difficult when you're going into a space where there's a lot of eyes, there's a lot of, again, the industry is perceived a certain way already. You know, you have to be this, you know, sort of well put together person, and you have to know your stuff, right?
Which is true. You need to know your stuff. Yeah.
And we are probably one of the few people on the internet in this industry that are like, we're coming into this, and oh, by the way, we don't know all our stuff.
We're learning. We're researching.
We are new to this industry, and we want to get to the point where anyone can ask us anything, and we'll have an answer that is backed by facts. We are new to this industry, and we never hid it from people. You know, we didn't. You also don't want to come across as like, hey guys, so this is what's happening. You know, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Just be like, hey, this is what I found.
According to research,
and I'm presenting this to you. This is kind of how we've, you know, and also our personalities help as well, because we're very, you know, open, and we like to talk, and we're very conversive.
And it comes from a place of passion and interest too.
As well, you know, having the passion, because I must say, if you don't have the passion for watches, it can come across very redundant, because a watch is a watch to a lot of people. Hence, I think we spoke about last episode, the smartwatch thing, and people's misconception, like, oh, but it's a watch. And we're like, not really.
No, but it's more than that.
It's not just that. So and this goes for any passion that you have, if you really dive deep into this passion and you really want to learn about it and constantly learn about it,
people will see your genuineness as well.
Yeah, genuine as well. And then it's funny, you'll find that people will actually be like, you know what? Maybe not today, but continue. Because they can already see the genuine interest, the genuine, sort of, for lack of a better word, like concern for wanting to create good content, for wanting to come out there and actually, you just have to be like,
and tear down your ego as well.
Yeah.
Don't come in this game with an ego. Like, depending on any content that you make, tear down your ego. Don't always think that you're right and all those things, because most of the time people will.
And it doesn't matter what you think you know. You don't know enough. You never know enough.
You never know enough.
So take that. It doesn't matter. I don't care how many watch books you've read. I don't care how many websites you've been on. I don't care how many brands you know. You don't know enough. And
that humility aspect is.
Yeah, and we led into this channel with that as our premise. In our prologue, we said we don't know, but we want to know. So we want you guys to help us on this journey, and we want to do something that hasn't been done before. So having that sort of mentality for any piece of content, no matter how niche it is, I think you. Yeah.
Because I'm actually just thinking about it now. Like, I think that's probably also why the watch brands we've worked with, they like us. Because I think at the back of these watch brands' minds, I think they know that we don't know. They know that they don't know more than us. But the fact that we're willing to try, and the fact that we have so many other redeemable qualities. Look, I'm not a 5-year watch expert. I haven't been in the game. I've just been introduced to the game last year. You know what I mean? But the fact that, you know, we're okay with learning. and
Or
really trying to understand
being comfortable
is
knowing
something that will attract people.
being comfortable knowing that you don't know is a superpower.
Yeah.
Actually being like, I know I don't know, so I'm gonna find out. And you tell people, hey guys, I found this out.
Yeah.
You are not people don't think you're more special than them, right?
Yeah.
And you shouldn't think you're special than other people. So if you come with new information, it's always new to somebody else because you're also not the only one that doesn't know. Don't have this fear like, hey, I'm gonna walk into a room and everyone knows what they're talking about. I can't contribute anything to the table. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And sometimes it's not even what you say, it's what you ask also. We've asked a lot of questions and we've gotten a lot of great answers. And we've had people even be like, oh, that's actually a really good question. And then their perspective on us changes. They're like, oh, you're thinking about this. I mean, we spoke about this very early on last year when we met a certain gentleman who shared a lot of information with us privately. The questions we were asking him, he even said, like, I've been in this for over 10 years and no one has ever asked me that question. So how does he now perceive us? We told him, man, hey, what you're telling us we've never heard before in our lives, Chief.
Yeah.
We don't know. And then when we now asking questions, he's like, he had to even stop and think. He even asked other people, like, hey, actually, come and just hear this question. Like, I don't actually know the answer to this question. And this is somebody who knows his stuff, as an example. One example. So, yeah, man, have that sort of attitude of, I don't really care, because if you really have the passion for it, you're gonna figure it out somehow.
Somehow, some way.
Somehow, some way, and don't be fooled by all of these things. Also, pick up a phone,
And report.
tripod, or stack your books up and talk. Because you literally just never know. But yeah, and also, always be comfortable and understand you're going to be learning every day, all the time. So if you don't like learning, you will get bored eventually.
Yeah.
So have that sort of mindset of like, you know what, I don't know anything and I'm willing to learn everything about it, and it will take you places.
And then in closing, someone might be watching this first episode for the very first time, just so they know this is not the regular format. This is RTS, as you can probably
This is one part of the whole thing.
Yeah. So just break it down briefly to them. What is the mission? What is the goal? It's a whole new year. Is the DAO doing the same thing as they were doing last year? What's going on? What is this?
Some of the things we're keeping and most things we're doing different. For us, we, of course, the overarching thing and the reason for this episode, we want to go to Switzerland, and meeting people like Christopher Ward and then Zeniko along the way really helps us gain like rapport. And with that rapport, we're able to stake a claim to, people that can help us get there. So for us, it's about changing or let's not even say changing, tweaking the formula a little bit. There'll be more shows, there'll be new concepts of ideas.
Yeah.
We definitely don't want to follow, and this is no offense to anyone, but like we don't want to follow the usual norm, like, which celebrity is wearing which watch. Well, of course we'll have that kind of content, but we want to do other content that no one's really speaking about, which is why we introduced the best watches for engineers, like those kind of videos, you know what I mean? Best watches for like different occupations. So different videos that no one's ever really like thought through. Maybe there's some videos out there, but like the ones that no one's talking about is video ideas that I want to explore for sure.
Like you said, Watches and Wonders, 2025, Geneva, Switzerland, we want to be there. We want to be the first African platform to ever go there. Definitely. That's the main goal for this year, which is happening in April. 3-day event. It's all the watches, all major watch brands exhibiting, showing off. From the big guys to the small guys. It's wide. It's from all over the world. The top guns are there, showcasing the best of the best. And so, and we want to be the first Africans to represent Africa there at Watches and Wonders in this industry. So that's the main goal for this year.
Yeah. Definitely want to visit our friends.
Yes.
Christopher Ward,
Ward,
and Zeniko would love to also see for themselves and stuff.
If the plane tickets allow, maybe just a young detour, and really actually get really hands-on and we want to, be physically present in these spaces, because, to be quite frank, they're not here. So if they're not gonna come here yet, we have to go to them. So that's what we want to do. And yeah, man, this is all about pushing a different narrative. Not really different, not even just adding to the already just the big pot of this whole industry. We just want to add to it, add different flavor. You're gonna see a lot of different content, a lot of different locations, a lot of different faces, a lot of different, we want people to we want the dial to be like a one-stop shop for everything watches, in ways that you probably haven't thought about. There's the standard, if you will. Again, no insult to anybody, but there's the standard, and then there'll be us. So, that's really what we want to do. We want to give.
And we just want to enjoy reviewing watches, man.
I just want like Rolex, like Timex.
But like how for example how did you enjoy this Christopher Ward watch? Like it's such an easy to use watch. I mean, just bring it all the way back to the start of when we started the video. What would you say stood out for you with this watch?
First of all, the Super Luminova is crazy. Bro, I was in pitch black and I was like, what time is it? I felt so cool. I was like, what time is it? Oh, okay. And it's like, the Super Luminova is amazing. The build quality is impressive, I'll admit.
Yeah.
I've almost pause, sorry. Must beat that out. I've almost hit stuff and you'd like, oh my gosh, I'm wearing.
Yeah. And then you realize,
not even a dent, not even a scratch. Very well made, great build quality, and it's so
easy, non-intimidating.
Yeah, not intimidating. Funny enough, only 2 people have ever said to me in public spaces hey, what's that? Most people just think it's a watch, and they don't know yet. What it is. So great watch, great quality. Beautiful. Being multifaceted. Also, I enjoy the GMT function. I was switching different time zones.
But it shows now we need to start traveling for us to
properly really use this. I mean, yes, I had my days. I'm like, I wonder what time it is in Romania.
And then you just
let me just oh, it's 2 o'clock. Cool. Which is really awesome feature. GMTs are good, and that's what they're known for. But yeah, that's just really everything about this watch, and also how light it is. When I did see it, I kind of thought it might have been actually quite heavy. Yeah. But quite opposite actually. Very easy to wear, style it with any outfit. You can dress it up and dress it down. So yeah.
Take it anywhere. It's a holiday watch.
Take it anywhere. It's got good water resistance as well. So, I've spilled some water on it. Even just phased, wipe it down, continue. It's a great everyday watch. I'll end there. It's a great everyday watch.
Just as a closing comment, I'd like to commend you guys, you two, for your consistency.
Swear.
And constant research. As a director, I am someone that just likes cameras and shooting and cinematography, etc.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from watching you guys speak about watches, and it's actually taken me further in my own life, just doing a bit more research, learning about certain things within the watch space. So I think you guys are inspiring a lot of people who aren't even necessarily watch enthusiasts. Yeah. So I would say keep going, maintain the consistency, maintain the quality, and stay informed.
Yeah. No, but thank you. We appreciate it.
Appreciate that, bro. That's really cool. Yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
Definitely, you do feel like sometimes when it gets really hectic and you're stressed about all this stuff, you're like, damn, why do we do this again, bro? And then you get a comment.
And then you get to a comment. You get to a studio, and then
or even outside, people watch it oh, remember I told you?
Oh yes, you got recognized.
Guys.
So your comments matter, guys.
I got recognized. Someone was like, aren't you the guy that talks about watches?
Which is good.
I said, yeah, dog. And it's and then he shows me my face. I said, damn. He's like, and then he's literally like, I need 1, 2, or 3. But anyway.
And they literally just start talking about it. But
yeah, man. Hopefully we see you again some other time. Appreciate you, my
Make
God.
sure to comment, like, subscribe, guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Yes, sir.
Shout out.
Appreciate you.